We might be ready to move on this thing. Meet me up in the lab.
Smells like coyote guts.
Of the 3 Grand Theft Auto 5 protagonists, who is the most likely to do it all for the nookie? Well, I mean, Franklin is exempt. Franklin does it all for the paper. Trevor does it all for the chaos. Michael is probably the most likely to do it all for the nookie. And stick it up, yo, yeah! Real talk, though, after doing that Rock Band stream with Kate yesterday, my throat was, like, shot. We recorded a bunch of Ultimate Chicken Horse, and you can hear me in the videos being like, you know, I've made some bad choices in my life. God damn it, Chewbacca. I'm mostly recovered today. What is the optimal glue collusion strat? Always collude on glue. Often collude on crossbows and stammers. I firmly believe in that you can't appreciate the sweet without the sour. If you go all glue, all crossbows, all stammers, eventually, you know, if everything's a stammer, nothing's a stammer. So you need to have hay, you need to have barrels. I really think they strike a pretty good balance with the vanilla rule set, honestly. We have done some where we've done no bombs, but you have to be really careful, because if you have no bombs and somebody blocks the exit, then there's no way to get around it except to wait for rotators and glues so that you can actually, you know, rotate the barriers out of the way. Hey NL, how was your first week of being part of the 1%? It was pretty good. Like, I was walking down Wall Street, and there was, like, a poor person, and I just pissed on him. And then I threw him a $100 bill, and I said, hey, go get yourself a cup of coffee. And then all my buddies bought me martinis, because they said it was the funniest thing they've seen all week. It was pretty good. Liar? Are you suggesting I did not do this? That's ridiculous. Where can you get a $100 cup of coffee? You just go to Starbucks, man. How much does a cup of coffee cost these days? $50? Oh, Lorenzo. NL still kills dogs. It's an enduring meme. Only in video games. I'm an animal person in real life. I'm very pro-animal. One unexplored thing is glue collusion on the Sphinx's nose. Yeah, you can collude on the Sphinx, but I don't think you can rotate it because 2 moving parts, whichever one was moving first cancels it out, and the Sphinx is definitely moving from like turn 0, so I don't think you can rotate it, but you can definitely stack shit on its face. NL, are you gonna play Civ 6? I'm really bad at Civ, and I find myself getting frustrated when I play it a lot because I don't know the optimal turn order for stuff. So, you know, I always end up getting shit on by the AI by, like, you know, turn 100. So I really need to spend probably like 20 or 30 hours and actually be not total fucking garbage at that game.
You know where you gotta be.
Sinvicta, that's because, okay, Sinvicta says, how can you be bad at Civ? I go into our Skype chat that I share with all these individuals, and I say, hey, what do you guys like to build first in Civ when you get your first city settled? And then Sinvicta goes, LOL, I'm gonna let you figure that one out for yourself. Hey, if you ever need any help, just let me know. I'm here to answer any questions. Hey, what do you do on, like, your second turn in the game? Oh, I'm gonna let you figure that out for yourself. Thanks a lot, Sinvicta. Oh, right now, I'm having, like, flashbacks to last week. We're here for the bank's money, not yours. The bank's money is federally insured. Your money is federally insured. This is my Robert De Niro impression, apparently. God, I hate landlines. Get with the times. These guys look like they're fresh out of my RimWorld colony.
We got hostages. Tell the sheriff the 211 is confirmed.
Investigate 311. Okay, I don't like to just hear the lady whimpering. There's other ways of beating it. Man, I wish I knew that when I was 15. I'm not saying she shouldn't be crying. I'm just saying I don't like to hear the crying in my video games. Like, let me enjoy my power fantasy without the consequence of real emotion attached to it. You know, it's Grand Theft Auto, not Grand Theft, you know, the boy in the striped pajamas. Crying is bad, merciless killing is okay, though. I'm not saying merciless killing is okay, I mean, I'm just desensitized to it at this point. You know, go back to the earlier GTA episodes, I spent a lot of time being like, I'm sorry I murdered you. Stream Hearthstone? I would say that, like, as time goes on, I get a little closer to eventually streaming Hearthstone, but I'm still, like, kind of a scrub. The Hearthstone community scares the shit out of me, honestly. Is this what we're shooting down? We're shooting this fence down? This surely can't possibly mean what it's actually That's not a fence? What do you mean that's not a fence? How would you describe that? It's a brick fence. It's mighty, mighty. It's voting for Michael Pence. It's a brick fence. The Josh stream or the Josh salt from the one time they tried to play Hearthstone on the NLSS. Remember, like when Josh was doing YouTube full time, he did that like a week of thing, which actually like I thought it was a pretty good idea. But he did a week of Hearthstone where he played a few games against like someone in our circle of friends every single day. And I remember by the end of that, he was like, I don't even like Hearthstone anymore. It's like, well, you'd fucking hate it now. Shaman, shaman, hunter, shaman, hunter, shaman, 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 hunter, shaman, hunter. One of the things I like about the substreams is that, you know, with games like New Vegas and Dishonored and Skyrim, Mass Effect 1 and 2, like, it's been stuff that I probably should have played like 6 years ago so I can have conversations about video games, but I didn't. So it's kind of like a nice win-win situation where I get to expand the catalog of references that I can make, and at the same time, I, you know, get to get some work done to this as well. So, NL, why don't you play any Nintendo titles? Well, there's two reasons. One of which is that Nintendo is pretty, like, YouTube unfriendly for the most part, and I disagree with their practices on YouTube. Namely, like, wanting content creators to sign with them, basically, to be able to publish games, and then Nintendo takes a very disproportionately large share of the ad revenue. But apart from that, like, I'm not actually that salty about that. It's like, you know, there's plenty of fish in the sea. It's mostly that I really record 99.9% of stuff on PC. I don't want to, you know, bother with dealing with a capture card effectively. If you watch Roundtable, you know I'm the guy, I'm always the guy who's consumer unfriendly and is like, well, companies can do whatever they want with their intellectual properry. So if Nintendo wants their stuff to not be played on YouTube unless they get a big cut, I actually think they're like well within their, well, I mean, obviously they're well within their legal rights, but I think, like, you know, that's not that unreasonable. When was the last time you jaywalked? I jaywalked yesterday. You look, I'm not trying to absolve myself of the danger of jaywalking and the idiocy of doing it, okay? But there's a really poorly designed intersection in Vancouver where, you know, by jaywalking you can actually save yourself like 3 minutes of walking. Because you have to like loop back around and it doesn't have a crosswalk for like 500 meters. So I did it. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to admit it. You know, honesty's important. This is a slightly tricky spot. You know, like, I did beat Max Payne 3 on controller, so these sections really shouldn't be giving me that much trouble. I mean, that was 4 years ago, but... Did you like Max Payne 1 or Max Payne 2 more? Honestly, because this always seems to be the case with these games, I've only finished Max Payne 3. I played a lot of Max Payne 1 when I was like 13, and that game was dynamite. Bullet Time was like, well, you're not going to give us the Matrix license? Fine, we'll just, you know, do our own Matrix game that's not actually the Matrix. However, I like Max Payne 3 more than most people do. I know in particular, I think TB had a problem with it because it's like so cinematic heavy. It's a style of game that I actually don't dislike, and I enjoyed Max Payne 3. I also got it back when I was still, you know, enamored with Steam sales, and I was like, this game came out 3 months ago and now it's half price. Amazing. You know, now it's like I don't buy any game unless it's $3. This game came out 6 weeks ago and they're charging 75% of its original cost. Greedy publishers.
Here we go. Right here. Get on.
Why is YouTube upset? I got on the train. Trains are long, dog. There she goes with the expectations. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics to Drops of Jupiter, even though I sang it yesterday.
Let's go. Easy, easy. I'm a friendly. Agent Sanchez.
Our very own corrupt G-man in training.
You gotta be careful, buddy, alright? Because they are...
Jacob Bro and the Azaton, thank you for the subscription as well. Yeah, first try.
Shot him, Eagle. Very amusing.
Yeah, if you expecting them two to bring you up, you're gonna be disappointed, homie.
And Samurai Bison as well.
Got the money?
Everything we got.
They'll never figure out where you're going now that you're on this train. Yo, how good was the train heist in
on public worker remuneration.
In Breaking Bad season 5 though?
Big win.
Oh yeah, that's a huge fucking win. Woo! Monsters.
I'm out. Agent Haynes will get in touch with you once Operation Save the World's ago. Get your crew together, okay?
Fucking punk.
Did you see the John Wick Chapter 2 trailer? Thoughts?
Probably split
I
up
haven't
here,
seen,
look for
I haven't seen John Wick Chapter 2's trailer. I haven't seen John Wick, the first movie. But it's one of those things, I think, you know, it's like Dredd. It's like, I know Dredd's good. I know, you know, John Wick is supposed to be awesome. I just need to see him. I haven't seen him. I should go see him.
How is this possible?
It's like that gif where the kid gets run over by the other kid on the, I don't know what you call it, the big wheel? I probably see about 50% of the movies that I see per year on airplanes. You know, if you're going on a 5-hour flight, that's like, round trip, that's 4 movies. I didn't answer the phone call. Did your last flight show Heat? No, but like, I think when Kate and I went to Japan in 2015, Heat was on the airplane. I watched it.
Trevor about? He's probably out somewhere drinking.
Am I the only
human
person who
blood.
straight up sleeps on a flight? I would love to. I have no flight anxiety anymore, but I sleep amazingly in my bed. On an airplane, I just can't get to
He's got
sleep.
a sensitive side.
Oh yes, he's very sensitive. When he gets his feelings hurt, he's
I think the longest I've ever slept on an airplane is probably like 25
I got a
minutes.
story. I'm an independent thinker. Living out here
Which Heat?
away from the
Hilariously, I actually watched The Heat with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy on an airplane as well.
living off old glories.
But,
You used to be able to manage.
I was talking about 1995's
Now,
magnum
you're
opus with
worried
Al
if your
Pacino
levels are getting
and
small.
Robert De Niro.
Any more bullshit comes out of your mouth, you're gonna learn all about my past glories firsthand. You understand?
Absolutely, sir. That came out wrong, all wrong.
The only way to sleep on a plane is to disrespect the passenger behind you by leaning the seat. Yeah, I would rather go sleepless than lean the seat. I'm not a recliner. I don't believe in the power of reclining. I think we're all in it together in coach. If you recline, the person behind you's got to recline. Then the person at the back of the plane is getting fucked. So, you know, I refuse to pass the shit downhill. I'll just deal with my upright seat. If you're like 6'3", 6'4", or above, I'll let you recline. You know, you got long knees. But if you're my height or shorter and you're reclining the seat, I'm like, hey, shithead, who you trying to impress here? You're not a large person. You're an average-sized individual. The seats are built for this.
Jesus.
Have you ever flown in first class? I have never flown first class. I've never flown business class. I have once flown in the seats that have a little bit more legroom. I got bumped up on a flight as a solo traveler, and they're like, "Hey, you in row 35F, come up here to row 14, and you got a little bit more legroom." All right, that's fine. And if you recline, at least like if you're gonna be a bad person and recline, have the decency to push the button, go back a little bit, and then give them some time. Because sometimes people just go like, and they like recline 90 degrees in the space of a millisecond. You get like your laptop screen wedged into the tray table holder, and like it bends your laptop. Just like, cool your shit, okay? We're all in this together. We're not really jumping onto the train here. Oh, okay. I would say that we're probably gonna have to redo this. Try getting onto the plane last and then sit in an empty seat in first class. 90% of the time they don't check. Yeah, but like that 1% of the, or that 10% of the time, and they're like, hey, you know, it's not like you can be like, oh, sorry, I thought 4A with a full reclining bed was actually 75F, a middle seat in between two babies. I think I've just royally fucked this. Alright, you know what? The worst is when they recline the seat and your screen is connected so they can't, or you can't see the screen anymore. I should be dead. I'm trying to kill myself now. They usually have like the bendable screens, but then like you're watching it at like a 70-degree angle. That's not the way Quentin Tarantino intended The Hateful Eight to be viewed, okay? And now what happened to that Dark Souls 3 Let's Play? I beat the game, not sure what you're talking about. Nameless King still coming, still on my to-do list. It's even written over here on my whiteboard.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm getting changed.
Okay.
What have you turned into?
Written on your whiteboard, not updated in 4 months. What are you talking about? Says do a Gungeon channel update and do a Let's Look at a Fury, along with Beat the Nameless King. We're almost there. To-do list is almost taken care of. And now, what are your thoughts on Kielbasa? I love you, baby, but all I can think about is Kielbasa sausage. Your butt cheese is warm. God damn it! I check my dipstick. You need lubrication, honey. My Kielbasa sausage has just got to perform.
We got work to do.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Shawnee Paul! Shawnee Paul!
Getting changed.
That was way too. That was way too sharp of an angle. All right, we got another 15 attempts here. Okay, that was better. Although, also, we just fell in between the gap between the mountain and the bridge. Press Y to auto-aim the motorcycle.
Don't leave without me.
Not sure about that one, boss. Here we go, try this. There we go, there were even tire tracks. But, like, I think that was right. Like a glove. Bent his body backwards, like, you know, something out of Under My Skin or something like that. Drive Slow by Kanye West. Hell yeah. I'm on a mission for dime pieces and sexy ladies. Please allow me to introduce you to my CL Mercedes. It's a star-studded event when I valet park, open up the door and sunlight illuminate the dark. Oh. Total Fail 1232 and Captain Espresso, thank you as well. Captain Espresso, this one's for you. Okay, next time, next time. Tony Hawk! Just shoot the wheels off the train? You think this train is gonna stop? It's just gonna get its tires changed. Something Twitter memes. When it works, it's gonna be beautiful. Yes! It's like a WWE move. Okay.
Sure, just caught a fish. Let me know when you need me.
Gut it, eat it, be under that fucking bridge. When we go past Toledo Station, whole of Merryweather's gonna be onto us.
So, I mean, if we go too fast, can we derail it? It's like playing Train Simulator all over again. Oh, sorry, you lost $300. You were doing 46 and a 45.
Em, I ain't far out. You under the bridge?
Approaching the inlet now. I'm powered through to the bridge.
Man, Michael, like, will not change out of his tactical suit now. It's like the Spanx for middle-aged men.
How you doing?
I'm living the life, my friend. This is quite a spot you picked.
Enjoy it now, because it's about to start raining fire.
Flexawig, thank you for the subscription and also the email block.
What we're after's in that orange car. Plant the bomb on the doors, blow 'em.
Is this one?
If I was a speed-freak cannibal, what would I blow up a train to steal?
Don't be smart.
It's about fucking time!
Yo, the current's real strong!
Merryweather fleet's here, bro!
PCP vision.
How am I gonna speed you up, man?
Yeah, I wasn't looking over my shoulder for Merryweather, guys. Easier.
Oh, PCP vision! We're fine. I'm fine.
Snipers on the bridge!
You still got that thermal scope on your rifle? Find the shooters with it before.
Well, I could use the thermal scope. Or I could simply press the left trigger and I will automatically target them. So it's really, you know, like up to you.
And wet and loud in here, T.
Speed it up!
Whoa! Okay, that time the sniper got us. NL, do they have pot noodle in Canada? Is pot noodle just
Merryweather recovery teams arrive!
instant ramen? If so, yes. It's popular the world over. Actually, they're noodles made of cannabis leaves. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I think maybe you're just pulling my leg, to be honest with you.
There, move it.
I'm spending more time giving status
It's a brand of instant noodle. Okay, in that case, I don't know.
Find those shooters before they
We have Mr. Noodle. That's correct.
Snipers are down.
Mr. Noodle was like, back in like 3rd grade, be lunchtime, someone pull out like a dried pack of Mr. Noodles,
Regiment turns up.
put the flavoring powder on it and just eat it like it's a bag of potato chips. Pretty gross. But some people are into it, man. What's up with poutine? It's literally just soggy chips with on gravy. Sounds good, dot dot dot. Yo, it's pretty delicious, man.
Come on.
You gotta try it. If you haven't tried it, you don't know, son. That's the thing. A lot of foods that look disgusting are actually delicious.
They got some boats after us. Nature, you're right. It's a beautiful thing.
There's nothing natural about this. Nada.
They took away my auto aim.
Drown!
Who needs auto aim when you got new sticks? At some point, I think we gotta say the sticks aren't new anymore. They were doing pretty well in London 2012, though, I gotta admit.
Whoa, man, you work hard for your living. Boil it down for me. How much you think you make per senseless killing, huh? Couple nickels?
Times are tough. Have been since we put you in the ground.
Hey, you had your savings.
That I couldn't access because you blew the identities. You know, there was nothing.
Wendy's 2016? I mean, it's possible. I'm not gonna promise anything.
For us.
It's my short list for best games of 2016. Keep in mind, I deal with this like every time I make like a list like this, even informally. I'm not like Game Informer. I don't have a staff of like, 20 people that they cover every single like major release.
Oh,
So it's really like the top 10 things for me this year. I think like Inside is definitely on there. XCOM 2 is definitely on there. Ultimate Chicken Horse, yeah, I'd say probably on there. Shenzhen IO, I think definitely has a chance to be on there at the end of the year. That game is my current obsession. Did I actually just skip a cutscene? That was my mistake.
I need your whole crew over at Cape Catfish. We're moving on the chemical weapons plant.
Nah. I just gave something to Lester. I need to deal with some stuff. Get back to Los
Redo the whole
Santos.
mission? Well, that's
Just,
ridiculous.
Give me a week.
We got the equipment with your Polito money. The gangbangers already on the way. The window's open, my friend, and you are jumping out of it.
Shit.
Los Santos ain't going anywhere, bud.
People are asking about RimWorld, and like for me personally, I have no problem including RimWorld on like my list of the best stuff that I've played this year. But then it becomes like, oh, well, it's not actually out yet. Or if you consider it to be actually out, it actually came out in 2013 because it's in early access. And like, I don't have much patience for those conversations in general, which is why oftentimes, like in today's industry, it's hard to be like, here's my favorite games of the year. Actually, this one's in early access. Actually, Enter the Gungeon for sure. I totally forgot about Enter the Gungeon, but I have some higher level criticisms maybe.
Yeah, motherfuckers, eh? They took the fuck.
Oh, come on. From being stepped on. Like, I have some higher order criticisms for Enter the Gungeon, but I love that game. I think it's extremely well made.
Don't do it! Stay away from that case! Now, you are a dead man! Ah!
Actually, you're the dead man. I just respawned at the hospital. Tactical mountain climbing experience! We did it, team. I have no idea what's going on because he skipped the cutscene. Yo, by the way, I didn't shoot this tire out. This tire started being shot out. Javier Bardem is on his way. I have seen No Country for Old Men. I think it's a fantastic film. And I look forward to him using his cattle euthanizer to come and try to kill me. Because I will end his life and take his $25,000. I still don't know what's going on since we didn't turn on Rat Shadows. Yeah, I'm making Rat Shadows right now for iOS. I'm pretty excited. The game is just a tick box that says Rat Shadows. Were you flying when you saw No Country for Old Men? No, I rented it from a Blockbuster, actually. He can't even program in Swift? Yo, I don't take insults, or I don't take offense to that, because Swift is a dumb language. I understand it used to be dumber, but like, C# is so... It's like plain English. And then Swift is like Well, you want to change the hour on a date object that you created? All you gotta do is split the date into every single one of its components, and then isolate the hour component, and then you're gonna create a new component that's that plus 2 hours, and then you're gonna reconstitute the whole object. It's the dumbest shit of all time. Just every programming language should be C#, except for C++. C++, you know, can continue to have its own kind of like elitism because it allows you to get a little closer to the metal. The last thing I saw on an airplane was a 480p episode of How I Met Your Mother. That's also extremely common. A lot of, like, you always get on an airplane and it's like, oh cool, they've got like this critically acclaimed show that I've never seen. They got episode 4, 9, and 10 of season 3. Alright, that's a great time to jump in.
How you doing?
Man, I was wondering, have you heard from your family?
Yeah, sure. No, that's a lie. Haven't heard a fucking thing.
Damn, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, well, not gonna
Last
matter.
thing I saw on an airplane was Avengers 1, Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, and some comic store show. You know what I do like is that
Business, Michael.
airlines have been really good lately about, like, if they have a movie that's old, they usually have, like, all the movies in that franchise, which I think is really cool. Like, I've never seen Harry Potter, any of the Harry Potter films, and the last time we flew, there was, like, Harry Potter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's like they didn't just give you the, you know, Goblet of Fire. They gave you the whole sequence, which I appreciated.
Could y'all knock that shit off?
Oh, look! Boys, you're boys. It's the feds.
Hey, where's the other 3?
What other 3?
We told you to bring along 6. This is a 6-man job.
No, you didn't.
Dave did.
No, Dave didn't.
You said you'd do it. That is a frickin' lie. I do not get things wrong.
All right, great. Then we're out of here. Fuck it. Let's go.
You 3 can do it alone.
And die fuck.
Is this the FIB
Do your own
heist?
dirty work.
Hey, I do my dirty work every day, keeping the country safe from scum like you.
And you're doing a great job, sir.
Hey, you want this job done?
Remember when these guys were, like, all
Come
in
with us, huh? Come on,
suits
come on,
and they
mister.
looked cool, and
Let
now
your
they're
wear,
all
Mr. Depressed
dressed
account.
like I am?
Let's go save America.
Who the fuck are we saving it from?
Thank
this
you,
time?
Hail
This is the
Drake,
real
as
deal.
well.
My sources are convinced there's a plot in international affairs, you know, the agency. And they're
Devil's
using
Reject
this
26.
facility to make a serious nerve toxin.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Which they plan in their mind-blowing insanity to let a major terrorist release on a metropolitan area so they can continue to get funding. Nothing
And
increases
Drew
funding
Budd,
for fighting terrorism
who is
more
just out for
than
a rip.
successful acts of terrorism.
So all right. So let me get this straight then.
No, there is no getting it straight. That's the point. Now we're doing this.
We
You two
are
on getaway.
doing this.
Fuck off and make it happen. Michael, you're with us. What size flipper you wear?
Can someone explain to me? I'm not saying the game didn't explain it. Could someone explain to me why we're doing the FIB's dirty work for them? I think if we had a debt, we would have paid it off by now.
Agent Norton, been a while since you were in the field. The sight of you in neoprene is something we save for our worst enemies.
Shut up, I'll be fine.
And you, get in. You're driving.
Follow the coast to the south. It's not far.
It's because you skipped the cutscene. This whole game is... Whoa!
My back's bad enough as it is.
Listen to me, Steve. No wisecracks.
This whole
guys.
game is
No
about
fucking
paying our
shit.
debts, you know?
We're
First we
fighting
made a
for
debt
the
to Martin
freedom of the
Madrinas, and now we got a debt to Patrick Warburton and Rob Riggle and Paul Giamatti.
Social responsibilities, a joke to you.
So maybe I redeem myself, get killed in the process, huh? That old bullshit.
No one is dying on my watch. Not even the burnout bank robber with temper issues and nothing to live for. This is the bay. We can get in through the discharge tunnel.
How did you know what I called my penis? Soon you'll have a mortgage, the ultimate debt? Who do you think I am, Josh? I thought we could use right bumper and left bumper to turn like we were a submarine, but we are not a submarine, we are a man. Irrelevant elephant is not a man, they are an elephant. Not that it matters. It's just, I'm not trying to insult you, it's just a play on your name. Press B to give up? Dude, I never give up on Pier. It's one of the top tier maps. It's definitely one of the top Pier maps.
Hydrocutter to the grate. That's burning at over 3,500 degrees. Yeah, thanks for the science lesson. Can I keep this for the next vault I hit?
GoldenEye all over again.
Thought you'd want some intel on the equipment we sourced using your hard-won funds.
Ha! I figured it was all gonna go on a wardrobe full of windbreakers. Oh, and maybe some nipple clamps.
Why do you need to make the discharge hole so big? Ask your mother. Seriously though, you should really just make it like one dude wide. Amazing.
Okay, we swim down the tunnel, gain access to the facility.
This is just like the final sequence of Johnny English. NL, how prevalent is eating dog meat in Korea nowadays? To answer your question honestly, not at all prevalent. When we were there, like, we heard rumors. I live in a big city. I had, like, you know, 3 or 4 million people. Not Seoul, but big. And, it's an antiquated kind of, like, cultural stereotype. It's frowned upon, and the population actually is, like, you know, if you bring it up, they will oftentimes be offended, which I think is fair, because it's, like, you know, a 60 or 70-year-old stereotype, but it's mostly like confined to the older generation now.
To get themselves caught.
Yeah, only I wasn't caught. Remember? I turned myself in.
Let me put it this way. I ate out basically every day, and there was never a time when I went to a restaurant I was like, oh, there's dog. It's not to say you can't get it, just that it's certainly not common.
We locate the toxin and action our escape strategy. That's what we got.
Great. Lead the way.
Bank robber, your job is to keep this covert and non-lethal as long as you can. Against the wall, quick!
Oh, heck. Oh, heck.
Oh, heck. Oh, heck. This is me. Oh, I just wanted a solid career with health benefits. Wow, no!
Hands where I can see him.
Hey, how'd you get down here?
Zap, zap! Pronto, Mike!
We use the discharge tunnel, homie. Looney JC, thank you as well. And have you seen the video of Afterbirth Plus with the Egg Boss? I have indeed. I have actually played that demo. I really appreciate how Tyrone made it so the boss blows itself up. It really is quite flattering. We're on floor -1. I don't think that's how we do it anywhere. That's the one thing about floor numbering that both Sinvicta and I can agree upon.
There's a lab rat in with the toxin.
Has Tyrone followed you yet on Twitter? No, but I stopped bringing it up because I think he gets pleasure out of not following me on Twitter, and I don't want to play into his hand.
Someone's coming.
This'll make me the most dangerous man in the country. I'm also the most
All right,
scared.
Darth Vader.
Oh man. Thank you, federal government. Warning.
What? But we were ghosts. We were ghosts.
Get out of here. Use a real gun.
Well, I use the shotgun when I've got a perfectly good canoe.
You don't have the balls.
Now use the D-pad to dump the neurotoxin down your own throat? That seems like it could probably lead to disaster.
I don't want to be around when Michael takes a bullet in the test tube.
Test tube? How'd you know what I call my... You get the joke.
This is for the greater good. Allegedly.
There's a lot of angry monkeys! This is just how Rise of the Planet of the Apes starts. And now, what is a neurotoxin? It's a poison that acts by binding to your neurotransmitters. Oh, you distracted me with biology talk, and then as a result of my own incompetence, I was put down. And now, what index fund should I invest in? I'm not going to get into the sticky situation of giving financial advice on Twitch TV. Who do you think I am, Martin Shkreli? I'll save that for the eggheads in the finance department who actually know what they're doing. What index of the array is your favorite? 100%. My favorite index of the array is 0. Because it makes me feel intelligent every time I remember that arrays are 0 indexed. Arrays aren't 0 based? Oh my god, you distracted me with your speaking of index funds. Arrays are 1 indexed in Lua and in MATLAB. Look, at some point, I think you just have to accept that you're just, like, trying to be unique for no reason. Like, is there any hardware reason to have arrays be indexed at 1? If not, I really feel like you should just be like, okay, every other fucking, especially for Lua, like every other OOP language that's commonly used indexes at 0. Why do we have to try to, like, fuck with people's ability to, you know, be language agnostic? Just seems needlessly complex. Ooh, nailed it. Scotch vision every time. How did his gun shoot after I shot him in the head? Doesn't make any darn sense. Don't waste your time, because the neurotoxin's mine. I want to try some sort of programming language. Which language should I try and how should I start? Language you start with doesn't matter all that much, in my opinion. I would suggest starting with something like Python. Fairly easy to understand, and a lot of resources for it online. Particularly free resources that you can use to learn. So I think that's my best advice. Don't get too hung up in, like, you know, what language do they use to make your dream project. At least for me personally, I don't think it's that relevant. Don't listen to people in Twitch chat. That's the other lesson. Like, do not start with assembly. Don't start with, like, brainfuck or, you know, whatever that My Little Pony programming language is. Like, you're giving yourself an uphill battle. And now, did you know there's a programming language that only has parentheses and one operator? Well, brainfuck only has, like, less than, greater than operands. And I don't know how many operators, but some operators. You should learn how to program in Minecraft redstone circuitry. I don't know about that one. White space is a language made entirely of white space, so fantastic. Brainfuck has 8 characters, okay. Sounds like the free rotation of League of Legends. Hi-oh. I've never played League of Legends. Brainfuck? Why didn't they call it Mind Freak? And now, do your cats chew on cables a lot? Do you know how to stop them? They used to, they don't anymore. Apparently, if you just spray them with basically like a water and lemon juice solution, most cats at least hate citrus, so they will stay away from the cables. That's the advice that we got that seemed to work out pretty well. Don't let anybody get up your butt either. If you're like, I'm learning Python. They're like, oh, that's cool. Python's like a great programming language if you're trying to teach your 2-year-old son how to program. I'm learning Fortran. You know, that's fine. Let them go, or let them learn fucking COBOL and then go fix Bank of America's backend and make like $700,000 a year for the rest of their lives. You can learn JavaScript if you want. Make your way as a front. Oh, I thought this is where we're supposed to land. You know, you spray the wires, not the cats. That's what I mean. Yeah, but you know, you can learn JavaScript and then, you know, program an HTML5 game or something like that. You can make the next Transform Ice. It doesn't matter. I thought we were supposed to land it in the parking lot. You can count on me meeting you in the parking lot. Shouldn't be a problem. Line it up with the loading bay. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's nice. It's nice to hear.
We missed the window. Agency response team's already in the building. It's never too late. We're going. Let's go. It's too risky, Bandito. That bird goes down and takes half the West Coast with it. You know what? If you're done puking up excuses, how about we come up with a solution? Okay. All right, you go. I'll stay in cover. Fuck it. Fine by me.
And the dead bodies?
I'm lucky I'm not one of them. Come on.
Let's go!
This guy's wild, man.
FIB Special Agent, I got this covered.
Detain this man.
Fuck you, I should detain you. I just took a bullet for my country.
Go! Pull us up!
What's your opinion on the Yellowstone caldera? I actually don't know what that means.
Where's Agent Haynes? Don't tell me we suffered casualties. Only self-inflicted ones. Fucking guy shot himself so he could pass as a double agent. Well, maybe they'll debrief him with a 12-inch aluminum flashlight. Haynes took the easy way out. We're the ones hoping we'll outrun the agency response.
Now smash the neurotoxin into the side of a mountain? No, we gotta drop it in the Pacific Ocean. It's the only container large enough to dissipate the neurotoxin to safe concentrations.
When you drop us, I'll take the nerve agent. Mr. Phillips, can I trust you to dispose of the chopper? I got more important things to worry about messing around with this stupid chopper. Like things that actually mean something. Not made up.
Drop it on Martin Madrina's house? But think of how many side missions I'd have to do.
Is he fucking with me? Probably not.
To pay for the neurotoxin. Drop it on Jimmy? Oh, you mean Jizzle. Drizzle it on Jizzle?
Hey,
I don't like that expression.
It's cracking, man.
Doesn't makes me
Some
feel
chemical
uncomfortable just to
weapon in
say.
there, right? If it even is a chemical weapon, hell, it could be shaving cream for all I know. By the way, next time you're getting wet. Oh, but there won't be a next time, will there, Davey? There never is.
I'll do my best for you. I always try.
Yeah, whatever,
maybe
Paul
this time
Giamatti.
we'll get
Why don't you
lucky.
go be the
Maybe
antagonist of
this
The
time
Hangover
Steve
2
will
and
succumb to the
completely
strains
ruin
of
the
enhanced
goodwill that you built
interrogation
up from critically acclaimed films such as Sideways and also the HBO miniseries John Adams, for which you were awarded an Emmy for Best Actor in a Drama miniseries.
Ah, you and Stevie.
Just try and keep your heads down.
Yeah, putz. What's this? Oh, fucking A. Yes. What's up, man? My days in the wilderness are over. Lester, he settled up with that crazy Mexican motherfucker.
Martin
Gave him
Madrina's?
the artifact. Now, as long as Trevor handles the wife, we're good.
But what about him, man?
Yeah, fuck him. He likes the desert. Besides, we do one big score, we're all gonna have to go our own separate ways anyway. Oh, man. I can't wait to get back to that movie studio.
Yo, all right, man. Well, shit, I'll holler at you later then, all right?
What a shit show. I'll tell you what, you could take this desert and stick it. My life may be a world of pain, but from here on out, it's gonna be cool, comfortable, air-conditioned pain. Take it easy.
And now, do you know movie studio? That's right. No, Ruka is not dead. Ruka is just fine.
I had a wonderful time, Trevor.
This lady,
But
she's
we
got
both
issues.
know I made a vow to
False
my husband.
difficulty, thank you as well. That's the thing, like it's always one more score with Michael. It was one more score 30 years ago, and now he's like still back and doing it, man. It's not okay.
I've never been so happy and so sad in my life.
You have a beautiful way with words.
I'm still not sure what my favorite performance on Rock Band 4 was. I really went for it on Drops of Jupiter, man. Like, I couldn't hit most of those notes, but, wow!
I am going home.
I at least went for it on Drops of Jupiter. I can always be proud of that. I don't like Mrs. Madrina's. I think Mrs. Madrina's has a, something's wrong with her medulla oblongata if she falls in love with a guy like Trevor. Tell me, did Trevor blow your mind? Was Mrs. Madrina's everything you wanted to find? And will you drop her off at her legally wedded husband's house? Yo, check this out. I'm gonna beta the shit out of this dude by showing him how amazing I am at backing up without even having a backup camera. Oh, so good. Can you imagine your tongue-tied, deep-fried homicide Trevor and Mrs. Madrina's?
You better treat her right, man! I will, amigo! Otherwise, the other ear!
Of course. The way I see things, you and me and Michael, we're friends now. Good friends. Such good friends that we will make a great effort to avoid one another.
That's fucking perfect!
Thank Michael for the statue.
It's not a statue, it's an artifact.
Yeah, I will.